I am Dr. Kanwal Khalid. Today's episode is a very special one in which we are going to talk about a very talented lady, Hameeda Banu Begum. Hameeda Banu Begum was the wife of Humayun, but this marriage took place in a very interesting manner. Humayun was kicked out of Delhi due to lots of issues that he faced by his brothers, and then the advantage of this situation was taken by Shesha Suri. So, in that wandering, he went to Sindh, and in Sindh, he was moving in the area of Seven. In that area, there was this lady who used to have her family there, and that is Dildar Begum. Now, Dildar Begum is basically the mother of Humayun's stepson, Hindal. When Humayun reached there, Hindal in his palace invited him, and he invited all the other guests also, the royalty. And in those guests, there was this young girl who was just 14 years old, and her name was Hameeda Banu. Humayun saw her and fell in love with her. But there were two major problems. One, Hamida was only 14 years old, but Humayun was at that time 33 years old. So there was an age difference of almost 19 years. On the other hand, Humayun was a very tall man. Hamida was short heighted. So, as a result, when the proposal reached to Hamida Banu, this 14-year-old girl completely and bluntly refused. She said, "Ke that's not possible and I cannot marry Humayun." This news, when reached to Hindal, the stepbrother of Humayun, he was also not happy with it. In some books, it has been written that Hindal liked the girl and he was in love with her. No, that's not true. Hindal was a very good friend of the father of Hamida Banu. So he treated her like his younger sister. So he was also not happy. But Dildar Begum was very keen on for this matchmaking. So she persuaded Hamida Banu again and again. And this proposal and rejection went on for almost 40 days. At one point, Hamida Banu said, when she commented on this relationship between these two, girl and a man, and she said that शादी ऐसे आदमी से हो जिसका गिरबान पकड़ सकूं, ना के दामन भी न छू सकूं. Now, this was a very interesting statement given by her, and I'll translate it that I shall marry someone, but he shall be a man whose collar my hand can touch, and not one whose skirt it does not reach. That was a very sensitive statement given by Hamida Banu. But at the end, Gulbadan Begum was able to convince her, and they got married on 11th September 1541. And as a result to that marriage, she gave birth to Akbar the Great in Amalkot on 15th October 1542. Now, Hamida Banu suffered a lot because Humayun was going through a huge trauma as long as his government and his empire was concerned, and he was traveling from one place to the other, and Hamida Banu was always there with him. She was there with him in the wars, in the forests, in the rivers, you name it, and she was with her husband. But the worst point came when at one instant she had to leave her favorite young boy Akbar at Kandahar because she could not travel with him. The traveling was so tough. So that was a very heartbreaking moment for the mother, but she faced it. Humayun was um, uh, uh, pushed out of the subcontinent, and he took refuge in Iran. In Iran, Shah Tahmasib was there, and when he reached Iran, now Hamida Banu Begum was Shia by belief. So her being Shia and Humayun being married to a Shia family supported him a lot in Iran. And Tahmasib was very generous towards Humayun, and Humayun stayed there for many years. And then, because of his wife and his wife's parents, the father and all that, he got some support to come back to India and reconquer the Sultan, the to reconquer the Delhi Takht, and that's exactly what he did. But misfortune had not left the Mughal Empire. So Humayun died in 1555. From here starts a very interesting journey of Hameeda Banu Begum. Now she is the mother of the king, and that's why she was given the title of Padshah Begum. Padshah Begum was as equivalent to the empress, and she was running the whole household, and she was dealing lots of traitors at that time, and people who were trying to take advantage of Akbar. One of them was, of course, Badam Khan, and um, mm, Hamida Banu Begum was a supporter of her son. At one point, she had been a very strict mother, and she had been very conscious of his studies. So there was this teacher of Akbar who used to hit Akbar during his studies, and then he would also ask him to clean the mosque where Akbar used to go, or madrasa, to study. And Akbar did not like it because he was the prince going to be the king, and when he became the king, he was still being tutored by this teacher. But Hamida Banu Begum told him that you should be very, very careful with your teacher, and whatever he's doing, take it as like your as an honor for your teacher. So he was turned out to be a very obedient student. Now when Akbar became the king, she became his big support, and as I said before, she was taking care of many court intrigues, and she supported Akbar. On the other hand, if you remember in my one of my previous episodes, I told you that there was Akbar's mother who went for the Hajj, and with Salima Sultan. This was Hamida Banu Begum who went for Hajj, and she stayed in Hijaz for 7 years and performed four Hajj there. Her titles, one was Patsha Begum, the other one was Maryam Makani. These were the titles given to her, and she not only played an instrumental role between Badam Khan and Akbar, and Mahamanga and Akbar, but later on, when Prince Salim, the new crown prince of Mughal Empire, rebelled against Akbar, she again became work as a mediator. She, tried to reconcile, who calm down the situation between the father and son, although she was not very successful. At one point, Akbar went to control Salim, who later became Jahangir, with army because the rebellion was getting out of hand. As a result to that, Hamida Banu fell sick, and Akbar immediately came back. But this sickness prolonged, and on 29th of August 1604, she died in Agra. Now, this was a big setback for Akbar, and he was very sad, and he mourned the death of his mother for a very, very long time. So much so that even after exactly a year after the death of his mother, he also passed away. Hamida Banu Begum was buried in Humayun's tomb, along with the graves of Dara Shikoh and some other royal princesses. A very intriguing fact about this whole episode is this, that she was a great patron of art, so much so that the construction of Humayun's tomb was done under the supervision of Hamida Banu Begum. Now, this is a fact which is very less known by the public, a lesser known fact that I'm sharing with you. She was very much into architecture. Not only that, she was a great admirer of book and a wonderful collector of book. As a result to that, many of the books that were being translated, and they were the manuscripts that were being prepared by Akbar, that were also done by Hamida Banu. One important manuscript associated to Hamida Banu Begum is Ramayan. Ramayan, a religious book associated to the Hindu religion. She had it translated into Persian, and she had many miniature paintings in that translation. It's a beautiful illustrated translation of Ramayan, and apart from that, she was into many other projects, both of the buildings and the manuscripts. So this is the lead lady, Hamida Banu Begum, and this again gives us an evidence that how these Mughal ladies were active socially, politically, and artistically, and they had lot to contribute to their society and to their kingdom.